What we see in here is the stand for the boots. I made this, not the boots, the stand made from the recycled, upcycled, reused shipping pallet that is made from wood. One day I just walk down the street and I see a perfectly clean shipping pallet thrown away into the trash, and I think, why not make a decent or okayish wooden stand for, or a wooden bench for the boots or the shoes, instead of buying one. If you buy one, it's faster, it's cheaper, it's easier. Making one is like a little adventure, side project in between the other things that people do, that you do for life, for work. So now there is a wooden stand, wooden bench for the boots, wooden floor, wooden cabinet, wooden space for the sound room, the studio, sound studio, even a wooden table. I also made myself, more polished than the stand for the boots. This is polished to the micron. It's so polished it doesn't need any varnish. The wooden bench or wooden stand from recycled shipping pallets is one very easy thing to do if you have power tools for the sanding or polishing of the wood. It's also easy because you just cut the shipping pallet to size, adjust the boards and reassemble, or if you are lucky you just cut an existing shipping pallet, polish it a little bit and it's already ready. This one in particular is good. It's a non-standard shipping pallet, which is a bit longer and can be used for the whole family, children, wife, and the guy who has to make it, usually the husband. Okay, let's see into the details. At the bottom we see the plastic bottles that are used as the legs of the bench for the boots. They don't add to any stability, but it's the style of the bench that is upcycled or recycled from the trash. In order to be able to have the same style and feel, you have to use the bottles. It's kind of unstable. Maybe later on. It's unstable, it bends down, it shakes a little bit. In case a baby or a person wants to climb up, maybe it's unstable. But it's like a float that can float in the water. And the fun thing is that the style is of the recycled materials and upcycled materials. The surface is a little bit polished and with a sandpaper. It's the most minimal design I could think of. In case you want it more stable, you can add ceramic bricks, the larger ones or the smaller ones, below the legs. And here you can really see this shipping pallet. That's the block, that's the partial half cut in half block. And here is a little bit of carving. The carving adds to the style of the raw and upcycle or recycled. Usually when the people upcycle or recycle or reuse the shipping pallets, they just sand it and don't do any, or paint it over. They don't do any carving. In this case I wanted to do a little bit of carving on this part to add a raw feel to it. It's just a different style. The whole point of this project is just to be able to do it, to enjoy the work, to have fun. It's not necessary to do, you can easily buy something like that for 30 or for 10 if second hand. You can buy the plastic ones. In this case, I just wanted to upcycle something, so do something in the half hours of the free time. It took maybe 10 sessions, half an hour each. It's not worth it by the time alone. It's just that the value what you get for it is not monetary, it's just the experience. And it's kind of unusual, unique. This is the construction phase of the furniture made from shipping pallets that were in the trash. There's one shipping pallet cut in half, already attached. As the last step, actually just sanding a little bit and attaching the boards on top. And a few plastic bottles to be attached on every leg of the show bench. It's like a bench but for shoes. One of the easiest projects. So that's how it looks like. It's a bit more like a fun, multi-stage fun game for the people who like crafting. The wood from the shipping pallets is usually not that strong, so I had to use the screws that are not in line so they don't break the wood, one here and the other one slightly to the side and the other one slightly to the side, so there is no straight line that would break the wood, and I didn't use much pressure so it doesn't break any wood. The boards are simple, thin, good enough to sit on in the middle maybe, or to put the boots onto without any real weight. It will probably float in the sea if I wanted to. The real fun is the appearance and the style of it. You know it's recycled, upcycled and reused as shipping pallet, and it adds to the fun. It's like a display of creativity. Looks a little bit poor that you have to reuse the trash, but the whole idea is for the people who get it, not for the people who think or look down on the projects like this. In this case I can also make the cabinet and a sound studio that looks more polished. The whole idea of projects like this is to reuse materials in a very creative way that doesn't look very polished but still good enough. It's like a combination of creative things that are free. The only price is the cost of your time or the time that you spend on. And if you want to throw it away, doesn't matter, just throw it away. If you want to clean it up in the shower, you think less of it. Don't invest too much time, just go the most creative and the most minimalistic, simplistic way. In a few sessions, just go do it, don't stick into the details, don't overdo it, don't over polish. The whole idea is, what's the minimal effort I could do to convert a shipping pallet into the stand for the boots? That was my solution. Maybe there is someone else who can do it even a more minimalist version that has a similar property. What I had to do, I just had to cut in here, and attach this wooden block, this wooden block, this wooden block, and 3 wooden boards. That's it. And then attach the plastic bottles with a string. That was the only cost. This was trash, this was trash. When you separate the boards from the wooden pallet, you go from here. If you try to separate them on this side, on this surface, it will break. On this surface there is more volume of the wood. So first thing you do, you put it into the shower, you wet it, so the nails are wet, the wood is wet, so they don't stick together that well. And then you place a hammer or another tool into the gap and you slowly hammer it from every side, and the nails, they just slip out and they get pushed out by the pressure. So don't hammer on this one. Don't hammer on this one. Just hammer a little bit into the gap. Slowly, it won't break the board. And make them wet before separating the boards of the shipping pallet. When you repeat, I repeat once again. When you separate the boards from the shipping pallet, let's say you have a hammer and a second hammer. You place that edge or some edge of some similar object, which is metal or wood. You place them into the gap, and then you apply pressure by the hammer. Apply it in here, apply it in here, a little bit in here, a little bit in here, a little bit in here. It is slowly separate without breaking the boards. If you just hammer and hammer and hammer, you break the board, you break it. Where the nails are, you will, because it's very, it is soft. The wood that is used in the shipping pallets is, this kind of wood is, it just destroys itself when you move it around. It's not a high quality wood, it's a high growth wood. So first step, make it wet. Make it very wet in the shower or a bucket, or leave it in the rain. Second step is just slowly hammer it from the into the gap and separate it from the outside, not from the from the inside. Separate it from the inside, not from the applying pressure from the outside or pulling the nails. Later on, when you or just watch my video for how to do it. I made a video how to pull the nails out of the wood. You search epSos.de and pulling out nails from the wood. That's another fun video. This is the leftover, this is the leftover, this is the leftover material from the shipping pallet. Just some boards, lots of nails, and this amount of wood. I didn't throw anything out yet. So this is the rest of the shipping pallet. Just one board that was not usable, or two boards. So it wasn't a very efficient recycle project, but good enough. This one I just throw out for the recycling or whatever. The tree had a life, now it has another life. Let's see what happens throughout time, whether the tree can survive years and years, or it will end up in the trash. Here is the final result in the use case, in the space where I put my boots. So you see boots below, boots on top. And the reason why I used the shipping pallet, because I wanted to do something with my hands, because I wanted to have something that is in exactly the same size as the space that I use, and something that looks like wood, nothing like plastic, nothing like metal. And because I wanted to give a second life to the tree that has given or donated its life to a shipping pallet, and now is converted and keeps on living in the form of the boot bench for the boots, and lives in the digital format on the internet. You see many boots. Wait till I add the boots of the kids to this. It's gonna be all overcrowded, and then maybe I'll have to do a second stage, second layer, which is also an option in case you encounter a good shipping pallet which is clean. You don't have to do much, it's much easier. But if you just have to do a lot, it's like 10 half-hour sessions. Maybe it's not worth it to do like a 3 level ones if you don't have power tools. For this one I didn't use any power tools. That's why I wouldn't recommend to build a very complicated one without power tools. I just wanted to do it by hand, carve it a little bit. It's a relaxing activity. You listen to the podcast, radio, watch your YouTube videos, or listen to some music, and then do some for half an hour, put it into the corner, do some other part of the other day, and in 10 sessions you're finished. 10 short sessions. Don't overdo it. So to the stability of the bottles, you can see it kind of bends and rocks. It's good that it bends this side. It's because it's easier to access the shoes and the boots, which are they kind of present themselves. There's a slight curve, slight bend from here to here, so it kind of presents itself. Undergo the short shoes, and above go the long ones, or half boots can also go in. Good enough. And guess where are my boots? For the person who made this, I have only one pair, and the other pair in reserve. I actually don't have one, so I made it like a project and as a gift for the people. I hope you like it. If you like crafting, or if you seriously consider anything in crafting, if you like a little bit of carving, a little bit of sewing, a little bit of wood dust, or if you like to give another life to a shipping pallet, you can make something like this. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's probably one of the most easiest things that you can do with a shipping pallet. The most difficult thing was the separation of the wooden boards from the shipping pallet. For this I repeat once again. And now comes the question, why do some project like this? Why do it? Just because of the beauty of it, or just because you like crafting with wood? Just because you're obsessed or not obsessed, or just because you want to do something with your hand because you have so much time? Actually, I don't have much time. That's why I had to do it in 10 sessions, half an hour. I have enough money to buy one from the store, from the factory. I have enough talent to buy a second one if I want to save on the money. The reason I want to do it is just to make a statement, to grow my own creativity. And when you make a project like this, it grows your creativity. So in this case, I learned something new, that I can combine the style of carved legs with the polished surfaces. So it kind of looks more raw. In case I wanted to polish it with the sandpaper, I could have. It would be more polished, but I wanted to make it raw, so it looks a little bit like it was really in use as a shipping pallet, or in use as it was trash some time ago. And out of the trash you made something very useful. It's kind of okay to use. Trash doesn't always mean that it is bad. In case you can reuse the trash in a very creative way, you can set an example, you can make a statement. And when you walk into the room, you see, oh, that used to be a shipping pallet. It takes effort, it takes talent to create this out of the shipping pallet. Maybe it's not much, and the people will think, oh, I can do it too. And when they start to think they can do it too, that's what's growing the creativity. It grows curiosity and conversation. If you buy something that looks perfect from the store, nobody's going to talk about it. If you do something like that, people will talk about it. Years down the road, they make an example out of it. They say, oh, plastic bottles as legs, or oh, shipping pallet as a bench. Yes, something like that. The real value of projects or similar projects comes from the experience and from the creativity skills that you learn along the way. What you learn is what sticks with you. I hope you make your own projects, not necessarily with wood, not necessarily from shipping pallets. There are many people who do projects from shipping pallets. If you want to make one, make one. Don't be too obsessed with it. Don't be mad if you fail. If you fail, remember it was free. Don't get injured. Remember that the materials were free and you did the whole thing for the fun, not for the gain of something. The only gain was your creativity and things that later on come through this creativity when you learn this, the tricks. Have fun, build your own things.